I'm reading the last part of the story Karma. But he fancied his English, finished and refined at no less a place than the University of Oxford. He was fond of conversation, and like a cultured Englishman, he could talk on almost any subject: books, politics, people. How frequently had he heard English people say that he spoke like an Englishman? Sir Mohan wondered if he were travelling alone. It was cantonment, and some English officers might be on the train. His heart warmed at the prospect of an impressive conversation. He never showed any sign of eagerness to talk to the English as most Indians did. Nor was he loud, aggressive, and opinionated like them. He went about his business with an expressionless matter-of-factness. He would retire to his corner by the window and get out a copy of the Times. He would fold it in a way in which the name of the paper was visible to others while he did the crossword puzzle. The Times always attracted attention. Someone would like to borrow it when he put it aside with a gesture signifying, "I have finished it with." Perhaps someone would recognize his ballion tie, which he always wore while travelling. That would open a vista leading to a fairy land of Oxford College. Masters, downs, tutors, boat races, and rugger matches. If both the Times and the tie failed, Sir Mohan would "Koi hai" his bearer to get the scotch out. Whisky never failed with Englishmen. Then followed Sir Mohan's handsome gold cigarette case filled with English cigarettes. English cigarettes in India? How on earth did he get them? Sure, he didn't mind. And Sir Mohan's understanding smile. Of course he didn't. But could he use the Englishman as a medium to commune with his dear old England? Those 5 years of grey bags and gowns, of sports blazers and mixed doubles, of dinners at the Inns of Court and nights at Piccadilly. 5 years of a crowded, glorious life, worth far more than the 45 in India with his dirty, vulgar countrymen, with sordid details of the road to success, of nocturnal visits to the upper story and obese old Lakshmi smelling of sweat and raw onions. Sir Mohan's thoughts were disturbed by the bearer announcing the installation of the Sahib's luggage in a first-class crew next to the engine. Sir Mohan walked to his crew with a studied gait. He was dismayed. The compartment was empty. With a sigh, he sat down in a corner and opened the copy of the Times he had read several times before. Sir Mohan looked out of the window down the crowded platform. His face lit up as he saw 2 English soldiers trudging along, looking in all the compartments for room. They had their haversacks slung behind their backs and walked unsteadily. Sir Mohan decided to welcome them, even though they were entitled to travel any second-class compartment. He would speak to the guard. One of the soldiers came up to the last compartment and stuck his face through the window. He surveyed the compartment and noticed the unoccupied berth. "Bill," he shouted. One. His companion came up, also looked in, and looked at Sir Mohan. "Get the nigger out," he muttered to his companion. They opened the door and turned to the half-smiling, half-protesting Sir Mohan. "Reserved," yelled Bill. "Janta reserved, army Fauj," exclaimed Jim, pointing to his khaki shirt. "Ekdam jao, get out." I say, surely," protested Sir Mohan in his Oxford accent. The soldiers paused. It almost sounded like English, but they knew better than know trust their inebriated ears. The engine whistled and the guard waved his green flag. They picked up Sir Mohan's suitcase and flung it onto the platform. Then followed his thermos flask, briefcase, bedding, and the Times. Sir Mohan was vivid with rage. Preposterous, preposterous, he shouted, hoarse with anger. I'll have you arrested, guard, guard. Bill and Jim paused again. It did sound like English, but it was too much of the king's for them. Keep your ruddy mouth shut, and Jim struck Sir Mohan flat on the face. The engine gave another short whistle and the train began to move. The soldiers caught Sir Mohan by the arms and flung him out of the train. He reeled backwards, tripped on his bedding, and landed on the suitcase. Toodle-doo! Sir Mohan's feet were glugged to the earth and he lost his speech. He stared at the lighted windows of the train going past him in quickening tempo. The tail end of the train appeared with a red light and the guard is standing in the open doorway with the flags in his hands. In the interclass Zenana compartment was Lakshmi, fair and fat, on whose nose the diamond nose ring glistened against the station lights. Her mouth was bloated with beetle saliva, which she had been storing up to split as soon as the train had cleared the station. As the train sped past the lighted part of the platform, Lady Lal spat and sent a jet of red dribble flying across like a dart. Thank you for watching.